Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Once again, I'm going to be playing with the Bag of Bones set. I've had a lot of fun playing with this, and then we have to get our Halloween stuff out because it is the first week of October before we really get into Christmas. So, I want to show you this piece of paper here real quick. These all cut out with dies. And I didn't grab out the dogs and the cat also cut out with dies. And we're going to be using these die cut skeletons today instead of stamping. And another piece of paper we're going to be using, this one's pretty well cut. This is all I have left. But this was a large piece that was, like this, 12 by 12. I cut it in my pieces, and so I've been using it quite a bit. So just wanted to show you that's the paper we're going to be using. We're also going to be using Bag of Bones. We are using Cottage Wreath today. We are using the spider from the Cottage Wreath set because I wanted a spider. So let me show you what we're going to be making. We have an envelope. Now we have a little rose flip down there. And this is the card we're making. This is Mr. and Mrs. Bones returning home after a night on the town. It's my story. I'm going to stick to it. I just thought it was cute. And I'm going to show you how I put this card together, and we've stamped the inside. So it's not a hard card. So let's get started. Let's make all of our components for the front and stamp the inside, and then we'll assemble the card. So what we need for the front of the card is we need to do some die cutting. And I picked out Mr. Bones is going to be white, and this is sort of a, I'm not sure what color that is. It's like a stamped off something. I'm not sure what color that's supposed to be. But it's like a pink. It might even be a lighter, my brains just went out. Petal pink. Petal pink. So I did not die cut these at first, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Because I wanted to show you how simple it was to cut these out. I just cut around them so I had, didn't get anything else mixed up. I am going to put a little bit of insurance across here so I don't mess them up and have to go get another piece of paper. It's just supposed to be low tack tape, but I'm sticking on me to make sure that it's not too tacky. Just come across the middle half of her right there. Like I said, it's supposed to be low tack, but still tears occasionally. So there is one, and I'm going to grab my pokey tool real quick here because I don't want to leave those in when I'm cutting the next one. And then we'll put that one on here. Line him up. This is like I said, this is a great set to just build fun little scenes and let your imagination go wild. So there's the other one. Like I said, not difficult to cut them out. Very simple. Get those two out of there right now. Before I put that back. Okay, so other things we need to cut out. We need to get his hat and his walking stick. So we're gonna need a piece of black for that. And we need her hat. I'm gonna use Gorgeous Grape for that. And in the set, here's her hat. And there's the walking stick. And you see there, this little bow tie is right hooked onto the walking stick. And here is his top hat. So there's her beautiful hat. These already came off, so I'll set them back over in my bowl. If I can pick him up. And then sitting on the pad here is his little bow tie and hat. We're going to set, I'm actually going to set them in my bowl. I put my, I have a magnetic bowl. I'm setting those little pieces in the magnetic bowl so I don't lose them. One of the other pieces we need to cut out is we need to cut out this little headstone piece. And I've already cut that one out. And that's out of Smoky Slate. Now we do need to stamp one thing before we can cut it out. So I'm gonna set this aside for a minute. And we're gonna stamp that one thing and so we can get it die cut. And that is a little rose. And since we're putting that little rose on the envelope, we might as well do the envelope at the same time. And the little rose is right here, very tiny little rose. And I'm going to stamp both of those in Memento. Just like that. And this one I'm putting upside down. That's the rose. If you bear with me 1 minute, I stuck my finger in the middle of the black ink. Put it all over the desk. Make sure my hands don't have any on there. Now I decided I needed something besides just the black rose. So I grabbed my Real Red marker. You could use whatever you wanted, blends or whatever. But I didn't need a lot, so I just went in here with a little bit of Real Red. And that's our envelope done. And a little bit of Real Red here. And that's the extent of the coloring. So we need to cut this little piece out. And there is a die for the little rose. Like I said, this set has got so many pieces. I have not used all the pieces yet. Don't know if I will get to all of them. I don't want that moving, so I'm gonna stick it down. But I don't know if I'll get to all the pieces or not. But set I know I'll be keeping because it is a lot of fun to play with. Like I said, so much for low tack tape. And there is our tiny little rose. I'm going to set that with the cap. And I believe that is all the pieces we need to die cut. So let's go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. You need a piece of 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This is 1/8 borders. And we are just going to start with Starry Sky. And we're going to put in there Happy Halloween. Put it towards the top here. And that's it for Starry Sky. Next, we're going to be grabbing Daffodil Delight, or Crushed Curry would work too. This is my version of a golden retriever. And what could Halloween be without a black cap. And put him there. And then I thought we'd need some bats. So I grabbed the little bats. There's 2 of them in the set. I think I'll put 1 there. 1 here. 1 down here. And 1 down there. So that's the inside of our card. Pretty simple. Now there is one more thing to stamp, but we can't stamp it until we do a few things to the piece of paper that it gets stamped on. So we're going to do that now. On this piece of paper, our little tombstone, I grabbed a blending brush. There he is. And I grabbed Basic Gray. Now this was Smoky Slate. I actually tried using Smoky Slate on this, and after it sat for a few minutes, the Smoky Slate just faded into it and it was not very visible. Because what I'm trying to do, this is the front of the card. We're going to put it right in this place where it says Rest in Peace Jack-O-Lantern. So I want to try to match this as close as I can. Or you could just leave the Rest in Peace if you wanted, but and I'm just going across here, making sure those seams really get it. More ink. I'm stamping off or brushing off on the other side because I don't want big blobs in here. A little darker at the bottom and a little more at the top too. Get the color you want, and then what I did, and I'm going to do it again, is I'm holding this up to this. So it's a little darker, but it looks good there. But you can make it any depth of color you wanted. Then I grabbed my Basic Gray. I tried one with black. Black was too much. And in here, I'm going to write. And I know it's probably not going to look I'm going to get it off this mat. No 2 will look the same. Mr. and Mrs. Bones. Like I said, just something simple. You could do it any way you wanted, but that's the way I decided to go. So that's that part. And then, oh, let's bring him back now. We're not done yet. The reason I wrote off this way a little ways is we're going to grab that spider. And we're going to put him right in here on the tombstone. There we go. And I did that in Basic Black. So there's our tombstone for Mr. and Mrs. Bones. So let's put this card together. My card base is Starry Sky, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Definitely know I haven't folded that one. And we already have the inside done, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. So all the dimensions for this are listed below. All the products are listed below. If you want to buy something, there's a link to my online store. I'd love to have you as a customer, and I'd like to serve you. There's my email address if you have any questions, or if you've thought about maybe becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We have a special going on right now that you can either get 35% off your order to become a demonstrator, or you can get 35% more product. So if you have any questions about that, just send me an email and we'll talk. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and on YouTube, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to help me grow in YouTube world. So we have a piece of Cajun Craze that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this is our DSP that I cut out of that large sheet. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That's going to get mounted on there. Okay, and then we're going to pop this on here. And yes, I'm using 1/8 and 1/4 inch on this. The out is 1/8, the inside's 1/4. Breaking all the rules. I liked it. That's why I did it. Okay, so let's get all the pieces to the front of this card put together. We have the headstone put together. That means we need to put the two Mr. and Mrs. Bones together. Now, we're going to put Mrs. Bones together first. There is a little slit right here, and you can put it so it goes like this if you wanted on her hat, but I'm just going in this direction. I liked it better. I'm going to tip her hat a little bit. About like that. Do recommend silicone mat for this. And she is holding a little rose, if I can get it out of the pan. There we go. And she's holding it about like that, just across her body. You know, Mr. Bones splurged and bought her a little rose when they were out on the town. About like that. And that's everything for Mrs. Bones. Mr. Bones, get his pieces out here. This is the tiniest little bow. I'll tell you, it's very tiny. But the little dot right here on his throat, you just need a tiny bit of glue. If I don't drop it the wrong way. I would use my take your pick tool, but I left it at someone's house the other day, and I gotta go get it. So there's that one. And he has a little top hat. He's being very formal. And his walking stick. Now on the first one, I put it behind his hand, and I think I'm going to do the same. So I'm just putting a little glue right here on the... And you put it the other way if you wanted, but... I'm going to tuck that right here behind him and off at an angle just slightly. So here he is. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dry fit all these and make sure everybody's going to fit on here just fine. Now she's going to sit up like this. This one's going to look a little different than the other one because the headstone was over just slightly. But she's going to sort of sit in between him like that. So we're going to put him in first, and he's getting glued down. She's going to get popped up on dimensionals. Go on the feet. And don't forget to put a little bit on that cane, that walking stick at the bottom here. And he's the walking stick is going to go off in his elbow over into the Cajun Craze, just a little bit, but that's okay. Just like that. This is the Tombstone, and we're going to put that up on dimensionals. And we've got some black ones here. Actually, she's going on dimensionals too, so let's use the smaller dimensionals on her. And I guess I do have enough. I'm talking to myself. I'm muttering. I'm sorry. I mutter. So we'll put this on first, because she's actually, at some point, she's going to be resting over the top of this slightly. And if you line that up, you can go right over the other one. Just like that. And we're going to grab some small dimensionals to put on her feet. You put them right in the... Oh, no. This is the one I put one here. And I determined the best thing to do for her feet was just to cut a little wedge off. These are my minis. I'm just cutting a little piece off. 2 little pieces. I don't get them sticking together. So they're long, skinny ones. They go up her foot and part of her leg. Just like that. The little ones are just a little too big. You cut 1 in half. I did cut 1 in half the other day, and I had it in my hand, so I just went in and cut it. But cutting the sides really does work really well. Not worrying about her hands. It's going to be actually almost resting on the headstone. So she's going to be up just slightly from him. I like that. So she's sort of covering up the resting piece, but not totally. So they're on their way home from that. And I looked at it and said it still needed something else. So I think I grabbed, hang on, I'm gonna grab mine. Bear with me for 1 moment. I left my bling in my bling box still. I had to grab it. Don't know why I put it back. And I'm going to add 2 of the bats on here. These are the glow-in-the-dark bats. And a ghost. And that's the bling for this one. So that's my card for today. I thought it was a rather cute card. You don't have to put the rest in peace. You could have left it just the way it was if you wanted, or you could put somebody's name or something in there, or something other, funny or something. But that is my Halloween card for today. We're going to be playing with Halloween on Friday again, but we're not making a card. So we'll be doing something else. So I will see you on Friday. Thank you for joining me. Remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And I will see you then. Good day.